Hello and welcome to Views on News. I am Jawad. Tehami. There is something special underway in capital Islamabad as far as Pakistan's authorities' endeavors to attract the foreign investment is concerned. A two-day moot, a two-day Saudi-Pakistan investment conference is underway over here with the participation of 50 members delegation from Saudi Arabia, and that particular high-level delegation of the investors is led by Saudi Deputy Investment Minister Ibrahim Al-Mubarak, who during the inaugural session of this particular conference has said, let me quote, that Saudi government and companies consider Pakistan a high priority economic investment and business opportunity, unquote. Likewise, we have seen a statement coming from Pakistan's Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb. Let me quote him. He has expressed the government's commitment to facilitate the private sector to take the country towards export-led growth. Also, we have seen this particular high-level delegation of the investors from Saudi Arabia was received by Commerce Minister here in Pakistan as well as Minister for Petroleum. Now, Commerce Minister Mr. Jam Kamal has said that Saudi Arabia has evinced interest and trust in the economy of Pakistan. And we also see there are a number of important key sectors which are going to be under deliberation, in which this particular cooperation between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia is expected to take place. This includes the information technology, religious tourism, telecom, power generation, aviation, construction, and water as well. We also know for a fact that there have been recent high-level engagements between the top authorities here in Pakistan as well as in Saudi Arabia, most notably when we talk about the recent visit by Pakistan's Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif to Saudi Arabia and his very important meeting with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Both of these leaders in that particular meeting agreed in order to expand in the first wave the bilateral cooperation on the economic front up to $5 billion. There are a lot of prospects, a huge potential as far as Pakistan being the market for Saudi investors is concerned, and the areas which I have already mentioned, and especially under the umbrella of Special Investment Facilitation Council. We're talking about the significance of this particular conference taking place here in Pakistan. For that, we are honored to have been joined in the studio by Dr. Khalid Waleed. He's an economist. Dr. Waleed, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. Also in the studio, we are honored to have been joined by Ms. Sehar Kamran. She's leader from Pakistan People's Party. Ms. Sehar, thank you very much for your time, also for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. Dr. Waleed, if you allow me, let me begin the discussion with Ms. Sehar. Ms. Sehar, when we talk about this particular important development happening here as we speak, a two-day Pakistan-Saudi Arabia investment conference is underway. The key investors from Saudi Arabia are here, and as per the statements which have come from the Commerce Minister already from Pakistan, that there are going to be business-to-business discussions to foster the economic cooperation between the two. Now, when we talk about the significance of a 50-member high-level investors delegation of Saudi Arabia here in Pakistan, based on that very understanding that was reached between Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, your understanding and expectation from it?
Thank you. Firstly, I would like to welcome the delegation, the Assistant Minister of Investment from Saudi Arabia, and all the business companies. Since I have lived in Saudi Arabia for 22 years, so Saudi Arabia has always been a home to me. And I believe that exactly Pakistan and Saudi Arabia enjoy a kind of relationship which is unique, which has trust. And there are a host of opportunities for both the countries to cooperate, to boost their business ties. And unfortunately, our business relations were not as impressive as we used to claim, that brotherly relations, trust, standing with each other. Our military ties are much stronger, but and Pakistanis have played a very important role in the progress, in the peace, prosperity, and the development of Saudi Arabia. Our engineers, our doctors, our academia, our labor, our technical staff. But with the passage of time, I think we were not able to maintain that kind of relations. Although we both have been standing with each other at all the testing times. And because of those testing times, the relationship, I think it was somewhere, just dependent on the situation where we need to stand with each other. But this time I would say the progress is very good, especially B2B meetings, because bringing the business people of the two countries together will open the opportunities. What I would stress, and I would say that do your homework well. Don't create an opportunity of the conferences only. We need to develop concrete proposals, equally beneficial for both the countries, workable proposals, and lot of homework. What meetings are happening today doesn't mean that tomorrow we are going to start the project. It is a time-taking process. We have to understand the mechanism, we have to create stability within our country, we have to ensure the investors that their investment is safe, and that trust building is very important. Especially our business people, they have to understand Saudi Arabia, the norms and the culture of Saudi Arabia. Today's Saudi Arabia, which is an emerging economy, today's Saudi Arabia, which has Vision 2030, today is Saudi Arabia led by Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia. So we have to see that how the development is taking place. And when I talk to most of the people here, they have, I think, very less or confusing idea about Saudi Arabia. And when we talk about that, they are so advanced in technology, they are so advanced in education, their women are so vibrant that we have to compete equally. We have to create an environment which can appeal them. We have, just sitting, talking, saying hello, making media projections won't help. It would be like, going, visiting, exploring, identifying their needs, exploring the areas where we could provide them assistance, exploring the areas where they can bring the investment in, creating a safe investment environment, and conditions those are acceptable to both the countries. That will open the doors. It will take some time, but we have to be very patient. We should not think that exactly it is happening today and it will happen tomorrow.
Of course, time-taking process.
It's a time-taking process.
Patient, but a lot of prospects are associated with this particular cooperation when it comes to Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, with that particular level of trust and confidence between both the sides. I'll come back to you to take your understanding about different other aspects, especially when it comes to various sectors, identification of those when it comes to cooperation between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, especially under the umbrella of SIFC. Dr. Waleed, now what are your expectations when we look at the statements coming from both sides, especially when we talk about this particular conference that is happening as we speak? So what are your expectations? If I put it that way, the steps in the right direction as far as these two countries, Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, enjoy the kind of level of trust. So this is a good step forward when it comes to economic cooperation between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia.
Well, I would say this is a step in a very right direction, keeping the view that as Senator Sehar mentioned that previously, traditionally, the relationship between Pakistan and Kingdom, they are based on G2G cooperation, strategic sort of relationships or brotherly relationships, I would put in that way. Today, this visit, this is changing the nature of the relationships from geopolitics or strategic sort of relationships to geo-economic sort of relationship, which in current world matters a lot, particularly if you see that trade dynamics are changing, the foreign direct investment dynamics are changing, all the economic sort of dynamics are changing, and then if you take the theoretical economics in this fold and discuss this comparative advantage sort of thing, you will see that Kingdom's comparative advantage in energy, in high tech, in minerals, in fuel, and these sort of trades, and Pakistan's comparative advantage in food, agriculture, and labor intensive sort of things. So both countries can collaborate in terms of geo-economics. And thirdly, very important is the relationship that are being fostered in this meeting is the B2B relationships. Previous to this, the most of the relationships, they were G2G kind of relationships between government to government, but this time businesses are talking to each other. This will open opportunities for both investors, particularly in Pakistan, where economic turmoil, energy turmoil and environmental turmoil is there. So based on that, Pakistan can leverage this relationship into future and into a very right sort of direction, particularly providing Saudi Arabia with what they need in terms of food and corporate farming, in terms of labor, in terms of capacities they need, and in return Saudi Arabia can provide Pakistan with much needed energy not in a traditional sense but renewable energy cooperation as well. That could be game changer for Pakistan.
Right. Mr. Kamran, when we talk about the recent very important meeting that was held between Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and both the leaders agreed to have that level of $5 billion investment from Saudi Arabia here in Pakistan, the kind of statements and then that particular direction by the Crown Prince to the Saudi Development Fund also in order to prioritizing Pakistani market for investment. Now, the coming of a 50-member delegation over here in the wake of that particularly important meeting between Prime Minister and Crown Prince, what that actually signify basically?
You know, I would like to appreciate the Prime Minister also, and I would like to appreciate the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman also. I have witnessed myself that the Saudi leaders, their royal family, have a special love for Pakistan, and we also have that reverence. And if that relation translate into a more economic kind of ties, it would be helpful and beneficial for both the countries. So I believe it's all positive, because in the past we have witnessed that somewhat there were a kind of unpleasant scenarios also, which I believe was very painful for the people or Pakistani people who are living and residing and working in Saudi Arabia. They were seriously concerned. So I believe we have to.
Saudi authorities have been always very welcoming and understanding the concerns of the Pakistani side, and they've been leaving no stone unturned in order to address all those concerns. Also, we have seen examples of that happening in the recent past. Also, so specifically, Mr. when we talk about the specific areas of interest that could be or might be deliberated upon in this particular conference, when we talk about seeing it from the lens of that it is happening from business to business conference. So what key sectors do you think can provide a lucrative opportunity for the Saudi investors here in Pakistan?
You see, refinery is one of the projects which has been long discussed, and I would say it is a very important project for Pakistan also. Then I would say that first thing, I believe we have to have a very realistic approach that Saudi Arabia has technology, they have resources, they have everything which could, and they have the money. But exactly where we could partner is that with our skilled, with our trained, and with our highly, I would say, brilliant professionals, that where we could who could partner with them. What today we are looking for a partnership. Either it is investment partnership or either it's a business partnership, which is, I will appreciate, is the first positive sign. When we go as a partner, then there is a mutual benefit for both the sides. So I think we have to see that, okay, there is, I have seen a revolutionary agriculture production in Saudi Arabia. But yes, investment in Pakistan will minimize the cost, because we have low labor cost, we have more fertile land, there is less investment in increasing the fertility. So we are in that area, I think we are more rich. So we have to create that kind of environment which is also suitable to them. Secondly, about the technology, I have seen that today's Saudi generation, they are very well educated, they are very well equipped, but we have the brilliant mind also. So where there is a shortage of manpower, we have to be very competitive in the market to create a space for our own people, because rather than some other nationalities occupying that place. And we should not link our relation with any other country, but we have to be very competitive to offer something which is more attractive to them, because with Pakistan it comes trust, it comes love, it comes brotherhood, and it comes
So
there
naturally happens to be a lot of space when it comes to the skilled Pakistani worker, especially when it comes to the area which are related with technology in this particular age, and to be more competitive. I'll come back to you. For now, we are honored to have been joined by another participant, Mr. Maulana Tahir Mahmood Ashrafi. He is Chairman, Pakistan Ulema Council. Maulana Ashrafi, thank you very much for your time, also for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. I think, unfortunately, we have lost the connection. We'll try to reconnect with Maulana Tahir Ashrafi. As soon as he joins in, we'll proceed towards him. Dr. Waleed, now key sectors when it comes to the business-to-business engagement in the light of this particular conference, the key particular sectors, when we talk about, as Ms. Sehar has also mentioned, when we talk about the skilled workforce of Pakistan and getting the dividend out of that. We all already know for a fact, and Prime Minister has also described during his meetings with the key ministers in Saudi Arabia recently, the Pakistani diaspora has played a very significant role as far as the progress and the development of Saudi Arabia is concerned. Now, with the changing times now, when there is a lot of focus on technology, the IT sector, one of the key areas when we talk about SIFC also, what is required for that, for Pakistani workforce to be more competitive, more viable, and more efficient as far as the Saudi market is concerned?
Well, acknowledging the role of remittances in Pakistan's economy, as they are the major export of Pakistan, not in terms of physical nature, but yes, they are the major export of Pakistan.
Allow me, if you don't mind, let me proceed towards Maulana Tahir Ashrafi. We have once again reconnected with him. I'll come back to you to take your understanding of this particular aspect that I've asked you about. Maulana Tahir Ashrafi, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. Now, very important happening taking place here in Pakistan when we talk about that level of trust and confidence between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. A 50-member delegation of the key investors of Saudi Arabia is here in Pakistan. The deliberations are happening. How do you see that, and what are your expectations firstly, sir? Maulana Ashrafi, can you hear me, please? I think, unfortunately, we have lost the connection once again, and we'll try to reconnect with him. Dr. Waleed, please go ahead.
Well, I was saying that Pakistan's major export is not a physical good, that is the human resource of Pakistan that is present and sending back the remittances. We need to sort of align the skill set of those who are sending remittances and going abroad as a labor or as a skilled person from the growing needs of the world, not only in terms of IT, other sectors as well. What we need to do is we need to align Pakistan's IT sector with industry standards, not only Pakistan's industry standards, but the host country's industry standard. Saudi Arabia, they are progressing in terms of IT, in terms of computing, in a very fast and exponential sort of pace. If you compare Pakistan's labor force with other countries, those who are sending their labor force to the KSA, you'll see that there is a difference in terms of capacities, in terms of training. So we need to focus on that so that we can reap that benefit and we can send more and more remittances back to Pakistan. What can be done in Pakistan? We can learn and we can understand the market of Saudi Arabia, and then we can train Pakistani labor force, particularly in terms of IT. Second thing,
I'll have to once again stop you over here. I seek your pardon for the interjection once again. We are once again reconnected to Maulana Tahir Mahmood Ashrafi, Chairman, Pakistan Ulema Council. Maulana Ashrafi, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. I just want your understanding, your expectations regarding a very important mood as far as the Pakistan-Saudi investment cooperation is concerned. This two-day mood, 15-member delegation of Saudi investors is here in Pakistan. Firstly, what are your expectations? And secondly, when we talk about the economic dividend out of the religious tourism between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, what's your understanding regarding that, sir?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله النبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Thank you. I think this delegation came with the order of the Crown Prince Amir Mohammed bin Salman after the meeting with our Chief of the Army Staff and our Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. And I think the Saudi government and Saudi authorities, after the order of the Crown Prince Amir Mohammed bin Salman, want to make sure relationship between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia on trade and investment area. And if you see in this last 1.5 months, we have more than 5 very important meetings, and both sides, first our army chief visited the Saudi Arabia, then you see the defense minister of Saudi Arabia came here, and then our prime minister, he visited Saudi Arabia. Then foreign minister of Saudi Arabia came here with the big delegation. And then our prime minister visited the Saudi Arabia, now is this delegation. I think what we thinking and our expectation from the Saudi delegation or Saudi government, I think 100% I am confident we get the positive result. And our Saudi brother, he want to invest in Pakistan. He want mutual relation in investment and trade. And if you see today, Saudi delegation had statement. He tell very, very clearly, not only in Pakistan, he tell we go with the Pakistan on trade globally. And I think inshallah, hopefully, we get the result for our economy in Pakistan. And second, about the religious tourism, our religious, as a Muslim, we have our holy places in Mecca and Medina, and from the Pakistan, 200,000 people going for Hajj and 1.5 million going for Umrah. And if we see that, then if only in this trade and if in this tourism thing, there we need hotels. In the hotel, the Arab, our brothers, he wants from Pakistan labor, especially skilled labor. He wants from Pakistan to the people he work in the hotel industry and transport industry, and other also what the link with our pilgrims. And also Saudi brothers want to come to Pakistan for tourism, especially in our Gilgit-Baltistan area, in our Khyber Pakhtunkhwa areas. And I think if we go right way, and what today we are stand after SIFC when we make this council, I think all not Saudi Arabia only, all Arab Islamic countries want to come Pakistan, make business here, want relationship between the Pakistan and his country for the investment and trade and issue. And I hear from you about the agriculture area, about the labor area. That is open for us in Saudi Arabia. And food security is very important this time for whole world. And inshallah, I think when this delegation going tomorrow, we hear a lot of good news. And I again tell thanks to the King of Saudi Arabia, Khadim al-Haramain Sharifain, Shah Salman bin Abdul Aziz, and also Crown Prince Amir Mohammed bin Salman, with his love for Pakistan, with his support for Pakistan, and what efforts our leadership, our Prime Minister, our Army Chief, doing for the investment, for the Pakistani betterment for Pakistani economy, they are also appreciable.
So Maulana Tahir Mahmood Ashrafi, Chairman, Pakistan Ulema Council, thank you very much for taking time out for Views on News tonight. Really appreciate that. Dr. Waleed, going back to the same point, please go ahead and finish your thought, and then we'll proceed towards other aspects.
Yeah, continuing to my point that we need to sort of integrate academia, research, policy and industry, not particularly just the Pakistani industry, but the industry in Saudi Arabia, so that we can sort of export more targeted and more relevant sort of manpower to Saudi Arabia that can not only contribute to Pakistan's development but Saudi Arabia's development. That could be essential for Pakistan as well as Saudi Arabia. Second thing, this visit is phenomenal in a sense that previously the visits and the relationship ties, they are focused on 2 or 3 particular areas, energy, strategic relationship sort of things, but this time it is more balanced sort of growth agenda, and multiple sectors are coming under focus. So I would say this would be a very welcome thing for Pakistan's economy, as it will not only focusing on few sectors but also boosting economic growth in all over the sectors, and we would be having a balanced sort of growth, and that would translate into human development, physical development, infrastructural development, and other things that could be necessary for confidence boosts, ensuring credibility, that could foster more and more foreign direct investment into Pakistan, keeping these ties between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia in focus.
Right. Ms. Sehar, a very important point made by Dr. Waleed when you talk about the multiple sectors this time around that are available between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia other than the traditional ones. Does it show that Saudi economy is diversifying, and also at the same time what dividend and prospects does it carry for Pakistan's economy as an overall?
It's very true that Saudi economy and Saudi Arabia itself is diversifying. It's a transformation, very impressive transformation, which I would give the credit to the vision of Prince Mohammed bin Salman. When I go now and I visit Saudi Arabia, I witness such a pleasant change, and it's very impressive. It's like one could really feel proud of that, that progress. I would like here, I think, try to address the policy makers in Pakistan. One thing, please don't make loud claims. First, to be very practical in what you are doing. What I have witnessed is that our people, business people, when they go to Saudi Arabia, they link their business to their religious obligations, their pilgrimage. You would like to go for Umrah, please go for Umrah. You want to go for Hajj, please go for Hajj. But when you are going for a business, your first priority should be business. It is not that you are going for Umrah and at the end, concluding your visit, you say, okay, I'm here also, just sign something. Signing something won't help you. Secondly, you have to understand the norms, culture, tradition of Saudi Arabia. You have to understand the law and the law enforcement in Saudi Arabia. Most of the people who continue to go on those visas which are not legal and then they complain, I believe we should stop this practice. And those people who are going, they should be fully trained. I believe this is the responsibility of the concerned departments and authorities to educate our business community also, and to educate our visitors also, and to educate our workers also, that what Saudi Arabia is and what how important it is to follow their norms, their cultures, their law when you go there. And then I believe the other thing is that quality assurance. If you sign an MOU today and you are not able to give the certifications, if you are not able to maintain the quality, if you are not able to maintain the supply, it will hinder the entire initiative. It will be more detrimental. So first of all, I believe within Pakistan we have to develop certifications. We have to have quality assurances. We have to see that exactly what MOUs we are signing, what business agreements we are signing. We have to comply with that. Most of the time we lose the market because we are unable to maintain the quality. We are unable to maintain the supply chain. So this is very important, and understanding and developing supply chain would be very important. Then we are talking about tourism. It's 2 ways. One is like obligatory, that Pakistanis when they go there, they go for the Umrah, Hajj, and even then I would say educate them. But when you are talking about Pakistan, yes, we are rich in tourism. We have lot to offer. But from 4 seasons to our mountains, our rivers, our sea, everything, we have everything that Pakistan can offer. But our culture, our architecture, we have everything. But what we need are the facilities. a safe environment. Every facility which any tourist, whether it's coming from Middle East or anywhere else, coming from Saudi Arabia, they would need. So we have to focus on that. We have to educate ourselves also, and we have to provide those facilities. If we don't have a good infrastructure, road infrastructure, if we don't have a good living place, if we don't have sanitation, if we don't have security, then exactly these will be only talk. So we should not talk and walk. We should do something practically to create an environment which would be attracting others. If you look at Pakistan of 70s, okay, there were so many Europeans coming here. Our beaches are one of the best, so beautiful sandy beaches. Our northern areas are like one of the hottest attractions. But why we are not able to maintain that now? So we have to see that first of all, law and order situation. Secondly, our law enforcement, our ethical values, and then everyone who should come to Pakistan should feel safe. When I go to Saudi Arabia, I feel very safe. I'm not concerned for anything when I walk alone on the road. So I have been a working lady there throughout, from I went there in 92, so I have been so I felt very safe. Any person who is visiting Pakistan should feel very safe. So this is very important that we should train our manpower, we should provide certification. When we go for business, we should focus on the business, we should fulfill our agreements, and there are a host of opportunities, because if Saudi Arabia can do business with any other country, Pakistan should be first priority. And then collaboration between the education institutions. I believe that is very, very, very important. We should have a center like we have Pakistan-China center. We should have one center, Pakistan-Saudi Arabia center, which should host think tanks, which should host different our experts, our business offices, libraries, connecting our education institutions. So that will also bring the people of the two countries very close, and it will develop a lot of good understanding. So this is education and research. In Saudi Arabia, I have seen their think tanks are very active, and they work independently, and they have very serious research. We should also see that exactly we do the similar kind of role. We should play the similar kind of role, because their own track 2 activities are very impressive. So this, I think we have to learn from each other. There's a lot that we can offer. Our textile, I believe it is one of the sector where Pakistan is the best producer, and with the Saudi investment, we are able to bring stability to all these sectors, where we always used to feel proud of, like our leather industry, our textile, our even minerals, our agriculture. We can attract investment if we follow the conditions, the agreements, and the norms.
Right. Dr. Waleed, the diversification of economy, firstly, how important and crucial that happens to be for any economy that had been reliant on certain very specific and traditional sectors. Now, this diversification for that particular economy, and also if that particular country is going to cooperate on multifarious fronts with the other states, what are the opportunities, for example, in case of Pakistan, are there as far as diversification of economy in Saudi Arabia is concerned?
Well, whenever there is a diversification or transformation of economies comes, one thing comes in the mind, that is coordination. Coordination, not intra players or agents in a country, but also within the regions and within the countries. Pakistan can be a focal point connecting Gulf states, particularly Saudi Arabia, with Central Asian republics and China. That could sort of provide Pakistan with this transformation of economy, and as well as Saudi Arabia in terms of diversification, so that these two countries, they are not focused, or they are not trading one particular good or set of a particular good. They are trading bilaterally, they are trading in terms of regional trade. That could provide this diversification sort of thing for both countries. Second thing, the world is changing in a way that there is more focus on renewable energy, there is more focus on climate smart agriculture, climate smart infrastructure, climate smart sort of agriculture and governance. these two concepts
There are a lot of climate smarts that you have used. A
Yeah.
very important thing, climate change.
Yeah.
Its adverse impacts, especially the manifestation of which we have seen in Pakistan most recently also. Please continue.
So-
I just want you to elaborate on these climate smarts also later
If-
in your take.
If you see the environmental changes or climate changes in the Gulf region, you will see the pattern that climate change is causing drastic sort of weather changes there. You will see more rains, more flooding, more extreme sort of events. So global cooperation is needed, and Pakistan being the victim of climate change, Pakistan can collaborate with Saudi Arabia and Gulf states with the help of China and Central Asian Republic to build this regional sort of block, so that we can build or integrate our economies with climate change, and then we can sort of build this development plus climate sort of agenda. That could be door opener for Pakistan. And second thing, keeping in view the changing dynamics of trade, as European Union has initiated this carbon border adjustment mechanism, which means all the exports targeted to European Union, they are being assessed for carbon content. If you see, you will find that because the Gulf region, their exports are mainly carbon intensive exports, they need to offset those carbon content. Pakistan can provide this buffer state where they can sort of build and trade carbon credits and offset these carbon trades. So this is another venue that Pakistan can open for Gulf regions, so that they can sort of foster their trade in this era of carbon border adjustment mechanisms and other emission trading sort of schemes. So these are three new areas where Pakistan can help them. First is coordinating between two regions, China, Central Asian Republic, connecting them with Middle Eastern countries. Second is climate smart infrastructure, agriculture. And third is changing dynamics of trade, particularly for mounting to European Union. That would be a game changer for both countries.
Right. Ms. Sehar, when we talk about Vision 2030 of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, as you have already in your first take have described his vision, the kind of dynamism associated with his personality, the strength that he carries with that, and the vision in the form of this particular Saudi Vision 2030. We've also seen in the recent meetings with the key Saudi ministers, one of the ministers termed Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif as the man of action. Now, how do you see this combination of that particular vision of the Crown Prince and this particular action of Prime Minister Mohammed Shehbaz Sharif, this combination coming together, what are the potential dividends? How much the leadership itself plays the role in fostering that economic cooperation between the two?
You see, leadership has a very important role to play, but I would say your political stability comes first. You know, the one thing that exactly sometimes disturbs me, that we have become very used to of using, you know, these kind of heavy words and making loud claims. We have to be more practical. You know, Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 would be, you know, meeting all the targets, going towards a greener, taking the green initiatives which Pakistan is also taking. And Neom City, you know, this is one of my desire, once to meet Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and secondly to visit Neom City. I went for 4 days during Eid holidays, but it was very short time. But I really wish to see, because it's something, you know, which when we read about it, it attracts me a lot, that how a smart city would be built. But I have seen, like, you know, when I went to Makkah this time, it took only, I think, some like less than 30 minutes with the train, or running on the speed of 300. So you see the facilities, you see how it has become so convenient for anyone to go. No, you don't need to take your car. So it's like, you know, it's changing, especially zero carbon and, you know, climate initiatives. They are taking it very seriously, and this is a concern for Pakistan also. So they are area where we converge, our interests converge. We have to specifically focus on those areas, and we have to take practical measures. And I would say another thing I would like to add that not only in Saudi Arabia, everywhere in the world, our foreign office, our diplomatic missions should have performance audit. That is very, very, very important. You know, unless today I have seen diplomatic missions are more like business offices. How much we have achieved from that we have seen. Then other than, you know, these business ties, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia are member of many multilateral organizations, like we are the member of OIC, we are the member of SCO, Saudi Arabia is now the member of BRICS, we are the member of United Nations. So there are areas where we can support each other and where that support means a lot. When Pakistan and Saudi Arabia stand together, we stand as a strength. We stand as a message to the globe. So which benefits to both the countries. Similarly, if Saudi Arabia is looking at, I would not like to ignore our military ties. If Pakistan is manufacturing JF-17 Thunder, Pakistan is manufacturing aircrafts. So Pakistan has lot to offer. Pakistan has expertise. Those kind of expertise we can collaborate, and we should focus on that. That we should focus on everything, from education, from agriculture, from minerals, from research, to our defense industry, to people-to-people relations. When we say we are brotherly countries, then we have to look at each and every field, from climate initiatives, from we don't need just the aids at the time of disasters. Yes, Saudi Arabia has been standing with us, but at the same time, we need to take initiatives where we can benefit from the technology. I have seen the technology in Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan has lot to gain from that if we create a kind of a joint collaboration, that they bring their technology, we bring our expertise, we bring our land, they bring their potential, their investment. It would be a revolutionary, I would say, gain for both the countries. And it will also add to Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030. We can definitely add to that. I will still say that our technical minds, our brilliant engineers, our brilliant professionals have lot to offer. They have already made exemplary contributions toward the progress and the development of Saudi Arabia.
Right. Ms. Sehar, you already mentioned about the tourism potential. When we talk about Pakistanis going to Saudi Arabia, that form of tourism, primarily we see that happens to be obligatory, that you already mentioned. So are there other avenues or other dimensions of tourism exploration as far as Pakistani curiosity towards Saudi Arabia is concerned? Perhaps one would definitely be NEOM, the smart city.
Yeah, no, otherwise, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You see, first of all, this is what exactly I really want, that Pakistanis should change their mind. Saudi Arabia is not just Makkah, Medina. They should, now exactly the visas are open, and there are opportunities to see Saudi Arabia's hilly areas also, Saudi Arabia's different destinations also. They have created many tourist places also, to the eastern province, to the capital Riyadh. There are so many attractions that when we would see them, we would realize, okay, what this country is. And even then, when you go, you explore, then you find more opportunities for yourself, and we also find opportunities to collaborate. So this is, and we also see that what are the advancements in that country. When we go for when you go for Umrah or Hajj, there are certain whatever you do, how much luxuries you have, still it comes with some kind of what do you say, okay, a person say, okay, it's little bit difficult to go through all those constraints and all that. But when you go for pleasure and you go for tourism, then there is lot you can explore. For me, still I would say there are even I have visited so many places, but still there are so many places which attract me. So even Saudi beaches, even you go and you see that how well they have developed. Saudi cuisine, Arabic,
very important to mention. So very important points made. Unfortunately, we're short of time. I'll have to go back to Dr. Waleed. Your closing comments regarding this cooperation as far as investment of Saudi Arabia towards Pakistan is concerned.
Well, I would say we need diversification. You mentioned tourism. What we actually need is we need to focus on B2B relationships, and that could come in another form of tourism, that is student exchange program. That would help both countries in order to learn their cultures and their architectures in terms of business to business relationships. Second thing is that Pakistan need to focus on consistency, policy consistency, making sure that these ties are credible, the contract enforcements are there, and thirdly, coordination, that is the key. bringing together the regions that could focus, that could shift, structurally shift the geostrategic sort of thing towards geo-economics thing, and that could be game changer for
Dr.
both
Khalid
countries.
Waleed, the Economist, thank you very much for joining us in the studio tonight. Really appreciate that. Ms. Sehar Kamran, leader of Pakistan People's Party, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for the insightful discussion that we had today, and thank you very much for coming all the way here into the studio. We really appreciate that. With that, we come to the end of today's episode. Till the next one, take good care of yourselves.